Welcome back after another break. The conversation is going great for me personally. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying this because the stuff we've discussed so far, it's amazing, absolutely amazing stuff that I personally have struggled with that has made me, as I've told you, accept that I need help and go to therapy. And now we want to talk about access because I've been able to come to therapy, Sarah, because I'm privileged enough to afford therapy. Not everybody is. So let's start first in your age card so that people know what I'm talking about here. How much do you charge for therapy per hour? Or how do you charge?
I charge 4,000 per hour.
Okay.
Yes.
Na you tumia Kasongo. With Kasongo's economy. but, but like in this economy,
Yes.
4,000 an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a lot that goes into the decision of how much to charge. And of course, there are those that charge even 10,000.
Really?
Yes.
Ah,
An hour. Not
So you're making me feel cheap now. And you've been an amazing therapist.
unintentionally.
You've been an amazing therapist. I didn't know there's people who charge more than I thought I was getting the best, but prices, of course, doesn't indicate quality. Lots of people try to use it that way.
Yes.
So 4,000 an hour is your rate.
Yes.
A friend of mine is going to come to you and say, "Hey, Sarah, don't you have a price for a hustler? And a true hustler, not like Ruto. Don't you have a price for a hustler?" What do you tell such people who come and try to haggle the price down?
It usually goes beyond haggling. How do I put it? It's not just about the price. Normally, it's about what you want to get out of this. So 4,000 is not just like a bag of tomatoes. And even if a bag of tomatoes, like, let me just use an example of a commodity. What informs your price, or I mean your choice of a particular commodity, is what you're going to use it for, how you want it to last, like the quality of it and stuff like that. So it is the investment. It's not just a price, it's an investment. Because you look at it in terms of investment, in the sense that when you are paying for therapy, something valuable, well, of course, it's a gamble of whether I'm a quality therapist or not. But then what you're getting out of it, remember the waste paper basket and the unfolding or unraveling of the papers and your stories. Then when you come and we are able to work through that, and I'll tell you how I work. But when you come and we unravel the pieces, or unpack rather, the stories that you have, what happens is that now you have more space for other stories, whether they're beautiful or they are in all their glory, whichever way they come. You have more space for that. You have more skills to deal with. Now you have a stronger sense of network and community and support, in the sense that even if you come across a challenge that is beyond your strength, you know what to do. And if it is not like a skill, you know that I can go to therapy and get help, at least at the very base. So it is an investment into your future. It is not just a price. What I do is that I usually recommend how I work. I recommend 10 sessions minimum. Give yourself that chance or that investment. That means that I'm going to work with you for at least 2.5 months to 3 months. And we are going to, normally the reason for 10 is because in the first 4-5 sessions, tunapimana akili, you're still trying to figure out, can I trust this person? Even though they're creating safety, I am doing my best to expand my container for you and to hold space for you. And you are trusting me with your stories. And sometimes the stories are many and they're overwhelming. And of course, you cannot unpack 30 years, 28 years of your life in a few sessions. So after the first 4 sessions, and you figure that you can trust me, and not just trust me with telling me your stories, but trust that she is going to help me to figure out what to do. Not that I'm figuring it out for you, but we are going to work together. So I think that the real work in therapy usually begins after session 4. Real work being that now that you have unpacked the things which are overwhelming and they're overflowing and all that, now we can start figuring out and learning skills and putting them into practice. And when we are consistent enough, by 10 sessions, you feel stronger enough, and we have reviewed and we have figured out what is working and what isn't working, and then where can we tweak. And I'm still having a challenge with learning that particular skill. Can we approach it in a different way? By session 10, we can now start what I call maintenance phase. Whether you want to come in after 2 months just to check in, this is where I'm going, or this is what's happening. What do you think? We come and we hold up the mirror and see what's going on. Just the same way that a vehicle goes for maintenance. And it's not just that you're coming with the bad stuff, even the good stuff, because you have a safe space to come and say, Sarah, I got this promotion at work. What do you think? And this happened. And then we sit and we unpack this beautiful thing that has happened for you. And we figure out, what is it that you did that made you win this? And so how can we sustain this winning streak? You get, like, just maintaining, even if it's once a month or once in 3 months, or even if it's never, and you want to just come in like after whatever length of time. Different therapists work differently, and even different individuals work, like, it depends on just what you want out of therapy. And that is what I say, that don't look at the price for therapy like just a figure on a bag of tomatoes. It is an investment into your future, because after you've done unpacking these things, you are more productive, you are more welcoming, you're living more authentically. Yeah.
You're worth much more than the 4K. I can tell you for sure.
Thank you.
She's worth so much more. And
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, one thing that I took away from our sessions
Mm-hmm.
is to not erase my experience or my story
Mm-hmm.
in an attempt to create space for somebody else's story. I used to do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say I was sad and you were frustrated. I would wipe my sadness out first, and let's first deal with your frustration. And sometimes I'd find that I was erasing myself, and I needed even to do this podcast to reclaim my voice and to be able to speak wholly as myself, including my emotions, my lived experiences, my thoughts, what I believe at the most fundamental level. I don't know that I could have done that without first having the kind of conversations you and I have had. And that worth much more than 4K now. But at the same time, there's someone who's genuinely not going to afford that. Some of the strong black men we're talking about, or who have been typecast as strong, so that they don't, and they never get any space to process their emotions. And I personally have had my dad tell me, one of my brothers, my step-brothers, while taking out off an elastoplast. And he winced, my brother winced, and my dad was like, you just got circumcised, you're a man now. You shouldn't be wincing like that. And it's when one is getting messaging like that, and then they grow up and they can't afford the therapy, and they've already been given this idea that you're a strong man, your pain, mask it, your anger, deal with it however, but don't bring it here. Your sadness, don't show it because it's going to dampen the mood. There's a toolkit you've mentioned to me before, the dopamine toolkit, that one can use when, as a man, I'm struggling with things. Maybe I go to work, maybe I'm embarrassed, maybe I'm shamed, maybe I'm shouted at, maybe something bad happens, and the workplace is just like, you deal with it. We still need you to keep going and keep smiling and keep making everybody around you feel good. Your co-workers, our customers. And then when I go home, I'm carrying all these emotions in me. And you told me the dopamine toolkit can be a way to help one deal with some of those emotions, or maybe just find a rhythm that they can bring back. But so, like, two questions. One, where do these emotions go for someone who can't afford therapy? And they have just had such kind of a day. And they come home and their wife or their kids or their extended family wants them to just continue being happy. And they've just had this experience. Where do those emotions go? And second, is there a toolkit that could help them if they can't afford to come to therapy? And they just start to deal with that stuff on their own. Welcome back after another break. Now we want to talk about access to therapy. 4,000 an hour. Some people will still say that's outside their range, and we all need help. And so for people who can't afford the 4,000 an hour no matter what, let's talk a little bit about like your ideas of opinion and opinions on access to therapy and like what you recommend for such people. Because some of them there are friends, there are families, and they just can't afford it. Yeah.
So there are I'm only one of many, thankfully. There are very many options in this country. There are places like there are many places that we can get help. So for one, most government hospitals do have a counselor. So you get there and you inquire on where you can get counseling services. And if you cannot get any counseling services, then they don't have a counselor in session, get into the nurse's office and tell them that you're feeling overwhelmed, you're this. They will guide you in what to do. Most medics, nurses, they are trained in basic counseling. So at least whatever it is that they will tell you, at least to get you from point A to point B. Okay, so government facilities, government hospitals, government clinics, hata kwa Kanjo, most places do have a counselor at the very least. Yeah. And then the other thing is there are institutions that offer subsidized. I think I'll share with you even toll-free numbers that you can share with the listeners, maybe on the screen or something, of where they can even just make a phone call. You feel suicidal or you feel you're out of sorts and you just need to talk to somebody. And then there are other places is churches. I know that there is religious trauma, and maybe you feel like church is not a place. We tend to like trying to say, I'm feeling this. I'm like, oh, have you prayed? I know that we don't want to hear that in that moment, but in this case, I'm saying that go to somewhere where you will just feel less overwhelmed. Yeah. So there are government facilities, there are church facilities. Go to church institutions or religious institutions where I know most Catholic churches, most Pentecostal churches, they have pastoral counselors, they have the elder women or such that they have for counseling. So even if it is not the most ideal, but it is a place to start, just to get you from point A to point B. Tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow we'll have more money for going for other services which are more costly. And there is no saying that the most costly one is the best or is the most quality. You can find really good services. And government facilities like 600, 400, I think 600 for the first session because of the opening of the file and all that.
Yeah.
But after that, for subsequent sessions, it's around 400. Yeah, in government facilities. So it's pretty affordable. Places like KNH, they have the youth center, and up to 24 years, I believe they still do that. Up to 24 years, they still do. It's free, especially, was it on Tuesdays? It's free. Services are free up to 24 years. So there are some places that you can go. It's not Imani Counseling Center as well. They do that. So yeah, there are a variety of places that one can go at affordable prices. And then if there is a therapist that you have identified and they are outside of your price range or your budget for that time, most therapy happens like once a week. Yeah, like once a week and then weekly. So you can just have a conversation with your therapist and work out a schedule that works for you. It doesn't have to be weekly. The idea here is self-management. So if you are able to do twice a month or even once a month, I know the time frame is quite long in between, but you are getting help. So don't sit. The point is don't sit with your problems. Not your problems. I don't like that. Don't sit with the challenges and the overwhelm. There is help. Okay. There is help. Now, what can you do when you feel that, like in the interim, that like we said, it's you need to move from point A to point B. What can you do that will help you to manage yourself while you look for the funds, while you look for means and the support system? Number one, strengthen your mind. A strong mind is able to withstand so many things. Actually, did you know that mental health or ill mental health is a cause of so many physical illnesses? There's what we call hapa na pale syndrome, where kichwa inauma, miguu inauma, sijui mgongo, like your body is just kizunguzungu. All those many times, if like there are people you go to the hospital and they check, even it looks like kidney failure, convulsions and all that, and there is nothing wrong with the person. It's all in the mind. There's something that's bothering them. So and also remember when I was telling you about the thinking and the feeling brain? There are physiological or things that happen in your body for the feeling brain to actually function. The increased heart rate, the blood vision, the breathing too fast. It causes a breakdown in the body. So you find that somebody starts having skin problems and you kucha zinavunjika bila mpango, such things. You think that you're having an illness, yet it's just your body saying, I am overwhelmed. You're your mind. So taking care of your mental health should be key. Okay. So number one, strengthen your mind. Strengthen your mind. How do you strengthen your mind? If prayer works for you, because I believe that we all need a North Star. I think that religion or spirituality or prayer, whatever you call it, it's a North Star. It gives you something to anchor on and it gives you some sort of direction. So prayer, meditation, reading, going for therapy, it's also strengthening your mind. Journaling, the practice of gratitude, there's a whole lot of that. And I say that we living in the age of plenty and age of opportunity. It's not like back in the day when our parents didn't have any information at all. These days, everything is online. So go Google, I am feeling stressed. What do I do? Because you probably don't have the money to get to a therapist. And we're not just going to sit here and say that you can only get help from a therapist. No, go read, strengthen your mind. If you don't have money to buy a book, download a free book online or listen to an audiobook on YouTube or go use the free version of what's this Spotify. There are audiobooks there. Listen to people like Mel Robbins, Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins. There are so many of them. Basically, there are so many of them. Listen to something. Sleep early. Sleep early. I think the issue of sleeping is a whole chapter on its own. Sleep early. Wake up. Do something. Learn a new skill. That is how you strengthen your mind. And when your mind is busy doing positive things, it will help you, like somewhere you will learn how to see things from a different perspective. I usually say that education is not just a thing to mwenye alimaliza class 2 is better than somebody who went up to PhD. Education is being open enough to see things from a different perspective. So strengthen your mind. When you have a stronger mind, you're less vulnerable to mental illness and to crashing. Because you know how they say that when you read a book, it opens your world to other people's perspectives. So when you read a book or you listen to a podcast or you listen to something, you will see how somebody else in a similar situation made it work. Yeah. So strengthen your mind. That's number one. Number two, strengthen your body. Sleep when it matters. Eat when it matters. Go to the gym where it matters, or get some work in. Go for your regular health checks. If you're sick, please, strong black man, please don't say men don't get sick. Please go to hospital so that you don't crash. You start feeling kizunguzungu, unaanguka hapo, tunafikiria uko mgonjwa, kumbe you didn't eat. Yeah. Fuel your body. Yeah. And then the other thing is very, very important. Strengthen your support systems. Strengthen your relationships. Have a friend whom you can call. What's his name? He calls them 8 minutes, an 8-minute friend. Apparently, it takes 8 minutes for you to change your mind. So he says that Simon Sinek, I was forgetting, right? And he says 8 minutes is all it takes for you to change your perspective from one, like maybe sadness to joy or something like just change your mood. Have a friend that you can call and say, I need 8 minutes. I need to talk to you for 8 minutes. And you talk to that person. Talk to people who like you, not people who you like. People who you like, unaweza fikiria anakupenda pia yeye kumbe yuko hapo. But somebody who likes you, you can call them, and within the first few minutes, they will have told you something nice. They will have affirmed you. They would have told you a silly joke. You know those people whom when you call, like before they even say hello, they're like, "Hey, fala, niambie," and then you start laughing. Ama wale wa mushene. Do that. Yeah, have a support system around you. Strengthen the people around you. I mean, strengthen the support network or the people around you, the relationships around you. Whether that is having a therapist around you or your parents or your friends, and also being aware of the toxic people in your life or the toxic relationships that you have exposed yourself to, so that you know what to do with them. When you're strengthening your mind, you will know what to do with the relationships which are not serving you or are not aligning with you. And then after that, it's things like having a strong identity, self-awareness, and all that, learning all those skills.